Okay, finally getting around now to cleaning up back there, that whole freaking fence, the mess. You saw it in the last video. Tons of Bermuda overgrowth, just terrible. Last video I also said that I was only gonna go maybe 4 to 6 inches. No, I'm going a lot bigger than that. Some places up to a foot. So today I'm gonna show you how I'm going about getting this cleaned up. We're gonna get it finished. I have some new tools I'm gonna be trying out. We are gonna be using my trusty Yard Butler 3x3x3 cube plugger with a little plunger handle with a lot of squeaky, but then bam, if you follow the Instagram and the TikToks, you know I got this girthy beast right here in my hand. Doesn't even go all the way around. We're gonna be trying out the new ProPlugger, and I say new because this one has a hex end on the bottom, supposedly to help make the plugs come up and out easier. I've used it, as you can tell already, but we're gonna go dive deep into it because I was just testing it out. This guy has done the brunt of the work. The first thing I did is I ran a line. I ran a mason line. Some people say it looks like a red chalk line, but it is in fact an orange mason line, and the red chalk line was of course an option. Once I did that, I went ahead and I busted out my garden Weasel edger, the same one from a couple videos ago where I was cleaning up the front. Fantastic tool, it got the job done. It was then this guy's job that got us to the point where we're at right now. Still a lot to go, but this guy has done the brunt of the labor. And why is that? Because it's square. I can follow that straight line, and also on outside curves, it can go around and make a curve. So this guy's done a lot of the work, makes huge, gigantic plugs. Now it's time to give this guy a whirl, see how it does, and then what am I gonna do with all these plugs, because the Gorilla cart is currently already full, and I'm only about a quarter of the way of what I have to pull up. As you can tell, this is all sweat. It's running down here through my treasure trail, and it's almost to the point where it looks like I pissed myself. That means I'm working hard, but am I working as hard as I possibly can using both the Yard Butler and the ProPlugger? Well, let's find out. So like before, the Yard Butler is awesome because it's square. You can run straight down, take out square, 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 square. It's like playing Minecraft. The ProPlugger is of course round, or hexagon in this case, but the plugs still come out round. And while a little bit smaller, how it feeds up and fills the tube is a little bit of a time saver versus having to eject every single plug you pull with the Yard Butler, and then you run into problems like this right here where it gets stuck and you have to beat it out with a hammer, and it takes quite a bit of force, and unfortunately that happens more often than it doesn't happen, depending on your soil type. Plus the other advantages with the ProPlugger, everything's stored inside, so all the dirt you're taking out to put in new plugs is stored away. You can take it and go dump it somewhere else. The Yard Butler, you have to have a bucket, a Gorilla cart, some sort of wheelbarrow, something, or just dropping it on the ground. Then you have to clean those plugs up later. So sacrifices, you have to make bigger plug, but you got a bigger mess to clean up, versus all self-contained. You can decide on that. Inserting the new grass plugs though, once all the holes are done, it's pretty much the exact same for both. You just drop the plug down into the hole, and then you're left with kind of something like this. I've done maybe, I don't know, 85, 90 plugs, I don't know. I have quite a bit more down here in the Gorilla cart, and that got me thinking is, I'm tired of plugging. If I were to plug and then pull up everything that was left in the flower bed area, I'm going to be looking at several hundred plugs, a lot of time. So now I'm gonna switch and we're gonna try making some sprigs from these plugs here and what's back there. All it's gonna take is going through. Gotta get my gloves on so I don't get my fingernails even more dirty than they are right now. And we're gonna start with this guy here. And I'm just gonna break all that to get down to roots, rhizomes, some stolons, and some grass. Then I have a bucket I'm tossing those in. And I'm going to repeat this process over and over until all these plugs are kind of like sprigs. Y'all are gonna just have to wait though for the results on the sprigging because we can't have too much excitement in one video. Plus I have a lot more to break up, but between the ProPlugger and the Yard Butler, which one would I choose? Well, I obviously have both. I started with this one many years ago. I chose it because I like the square plug, and this was out of stock at the time. So those were really my only two options. Now having used this one and put it through its paces as much as you can put it through, if I were to make a decision again and buy only one, it would be the ProPlugger. And I'm not saying that because they're paying me, because I bought this. I like the fact that it has the 2-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch setting with the adjustable rings. That would have came in handy about a month ago when I planted 90-something annuals in the front bed. Did that by hand instead. This would have made the job a lot faster and a lot more enjoyable. But for overall versatility, get both of them, because this is fantastic for creating new live edges. Once you edge it in, you can go cut the plugs out, and it's especially if you have KBG or Bermuda, where you can then utilize those plugs in other parts of the lawn. I did it in the past where the fire pit that used to be right there, I pulled up several hundred plugs with this bad boy and I just filled it completely in. So there's uses for this, there's multi-uses for this. Obviously, the choice is yours. I have both, recommend both if you're able to, but if you were to pick one, this guy, just because it's a little bit more versatile. So, I gotta go break up a ton more dirt, put a thermostat in my car, a roof rack on it, possibly change the oil, and finish cleaning out that bed before I have to leave for Nashville at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So, with that one, it's Mike, Real Low Dad. Go buy these right now. Links below.